Welcome back, you guys. I am Old Beth. I'm Old Beth. I was new Beth for a little while and I was doing so much better with my home, but I Old Bethed so hard. It's hard to live in my home. It's very, very cluttered. I have look, it's what, St. Patrick's Day? Is it currently St. Patrick's Day? No, it's towards the end of May, but I haven't managed to get that crap together. My house is basically unlivable. I sat in my nest like crazy, but I had to traverse the catastrophe it is to get to that corner of my couch. I've ordered in food like the last 4 nights in a row because I wasn't about to cook because my kitchen looked like this, but I wasn't going to clean my kitchen because I didn't have any motivation. I've been trying to dodge this pile of laundry, not Mama Kitty. She's always around. She's a good girl. I did deep clean my laundry room for you guys recently because that was beyond anything. Like I had Old Bethed in the laundry room, but I needed a video for you guys. So I cleaned in here. I wanted you to see how that was maintaining. But look at all of this. Look at this. I hate that I'm Old Bething. But Old Beth Behavior gets Old Beth Consequences, and I'm going to clean this house. And do you know how long it takes me? 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours. I start at 9 in the morning, and 7.5 hours later, I'm done. I don't really stop. The only time I sit down is to fold laundry. Look at how many cups of coffee I had. Oh, I love you, Nest. I miss you this day. I wish I had sat in you the whole day instead of doing the housework, but just kidding. I just needed to get it done. And also, I have been kind of choosing where I'm going to clean to have a video for you. And it means I'm neglecting my bedroom and my bathroom and my laundry room. And just then that isn't restful and relaxing. So I'm not sleeping well. That's also my hormones. I can't get all of it onto anxiety. But I'm not sleeping well. I am avoiding self-care because who wants to do skincare? Who wants to shower in here? Who even wants to brush their teeth? Laundry is getting overwhelming. So also everybody is competing to do their laundry because nobody did their laundry for so long. And so everybody's just dumping baskets and hampers of laundry on the ottoman. You guys. So let's get going. Now, in this video, so many people are going to be like, just do one room and stick to it. You're just going to be annoying about it. I know, we all know. And I'm not going to fully clean any room. I ping pong, I jump back and forth. This is why though. It's strategic for me to force my own hand. So let's start in the kitchen. At least I'm not hand washing everything and then washing in the dishwasher. Thank goodness I have broken that mental hurdle and I'm able to just throw things in. But look, I'm showing you, look, this is my kitchen. I'm going to do kitchen-y things. And then I jump to another thing. And then I jump to another thing and I jump to another thing, never fully cleaning a room or finishing a spot, but making it to where when I start negotiating with myself, because I am tired of cleaning and my body hurts and I hate everything, I can't just finish a zone without the editing being unreasonable. I have to finish the zones. I'm just making it to where, I'm not explaining this well. You guys, it's harder. You'll see when you see. But I wanted to make it impossible to edit this video for you and avoid cleaning zones. I wanted it to be untenable to go back and chop out my bathroom or my bedroom or the entryway. I need to force my own hand because I did not wake up with motivation today. I didn't wake up thinking, can-do attitude. Is that a Band-Aid stuck to the wall? I'm sorry, was that a Band-Aid, you guys? I can go back and physically look because I know I didn't peel a Band-Aid off of anything. What was I? Oh my God. Why is that there? What could it have been if it wasn't a Band-Aid? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It does. It deeply does. But I'm not going to pause. So I start the kitchen And now we're in the laundry room. And since the laundry room is kind of getting messy, like it's not great, we're going to stay in here. We're going to clean the laundry room because if I put it off to the end of the day, I'll say, F it, that's good enough. And I will ignore that it's there. Also, it is super easy for me to clean my house and not show you the laundry room. So I can let this laundry room get to catastrophic levels and you'll never know because it's very easy not to show you what's going on inside my laundry room. So I just need to wipe off a few surfaces, do a little sweeping, tiny little bit of mopping, and that part is done. Also, it's really early. So that's what I was saying. I am not coming at this with any sort of motivation, energy, desire to do anything. It's just I hit a breaking point and I'm going to force it. So unfortunately, some of my videos I start out and I'm like, yes, energy, motivated. I can't wait to clean. This is so great. The thing that is making me move forward is how much I hate existing in my current home. And so let's get it going, which I guess is a good thing that I didn't clip all of me walking out of there. Great. I guess it's a good thing because I could just be okay with living in an uncomfortable, cluttered mess. So, but I actually don't want to go out of my way and pat myself on the back because I am very annoyed with my backslide. I have made significant progress with my cleaning, with my motivation, staying on top of things. No, I don't tidy as I go. That's just not my life. But a lot of the times when we make really good progress in anything, especially overcoming bad behaviors and maladaptive habits, you can backslide. And I need to show you my backslide, you guys, because I am just going to go ahead and continue my progress forward. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up and be like, you know what, let's just pivot and I'll be a different sort of YouTuber since I can't maintain my home. We're still just, let's shit show it up. It's fine. I'm fine and you're fine. So what I am not going to do is fold everybody else's laundry. I am too tired and I don't have time for that. But I am going to sort and figure out what I'm supposed to fold and what I'm not supposed to fold. And so that's what we're doing. So we ping ponged. We did kitchen, started the wash. Laundry room is cleaned. And now let's go ahead and tackle some of the laundry in the living room. That way the living room is on camera. So you guys see, look, it's a mess. But also I need to get more space to fold laundry because I am going to do laundry throughout this entire day. It's a big portion of why everything's going sideways anyways. Wait, is it this one or the next? No, maybe. I don't know. At some point somebody had dumped out a bunch of my clothes, but they were wet still. And I was like, wait, wet clothes? But maybe these are all dry. I don't know. But you know when you like grab some of your clothes and you're like, oh, they're mostly dry, but you're feeling the legs. And then when you go to put them on, you feel how wet the waist is usually. Yeah, that was absolutely happening to me. So happy for me. That was amazing. All right. So we have most of the girl stuff sorted out, it looks like. So I could take it to them to get them to fold their own laundry. Some of the stuff we're cycling out because they outgrew all of their clothes and I did not realize it for a really long time. It's just so funny. When you homeschool, you don't really buy your kids new clothes. You just don't because you don't have the new school year to go do it. And then usually what makes you do it is suddenly everybody's wearing high water pants and nothing fits. And you're like, oh no, crap. So that just recently happened to me. See, here it is. I'm smelling my clothes to see if they smelt like musty from being in the dryer wet, but they weren't. And it wasn't all of the stuff in there that was wet. So I'm just sorting out what was too damp to fold and put away. And then I'm going to wait until this current load in the dryer kind of ends. And then I'll throw it in for like another 15 minutes and fold everything together. And also I don't have any clean kitchen towels. That's another thing that was making it difficult for me to clean in my kitchen, or I'll pivot back to this, but I didn't have clean dish towels. So like, why was I wasn't going to do the dishes. I wasn't going to cook because I wasn't going to be able to wipe my hands on anything. So for those of you who are new, yes, that is a blatant excuse and it's a stupid excuse. I fully understand that you can just wash your towels. But my towel, everything was kind of caught up. If you go back and look at my laundry room, you guys will see why I was not just dive bombing in there to wash towels. But yes, it was an excuse, but it also was a hurdle for motivation. So sometimes what sounds like an excuse to you is a hurdle to get going. It's too much. It's too hard because it seems overwhelming. Just like when people are like, oh, sort through all of this stuff and donate it. Sometimes the idea of sorting through all of it and then taking it to a donation center is too many. Wow, Leroy's pissed about the squirrels. It's too many steps and it will not let me start the activity. So sometimes you just throw everything away and it's fine because if it's quality of life, it's okay to throw away your stuff. Plus, nobody wants your crap anyways. It's probably from Walmart and Target, like all of my stuff is, and that doesn't hold up well. All right, so clearly, living room, not done. Let's go into my bathroom because all I'm going to do in here, I'm intentionally showing you how bad my bathroom is, but I don't want to clean it yet. I am just throwing away trash. I did forget to show you when I emptied my trash, which was catastrophic. It was this huge mountain of trash and it was weighing on me so much. Every time I looked at it, I thought, you need to get up and throw it away. But I just couldn't. I felt very frozen. I could see that it was an issue and I still could not do anything about the issue. I don't know why my brain works like that. It just did. But for some reason, I didn't manage to capture that. There's something going on with my camera. I bought a new SD card so it will abruptly stop recording. But I emptied the trash and then I also added toilet cleaner. It's a Clorox bleach toilet cleaner. And now my bathroom smells a lot like bleach and I hate the smell of bleach. I absolutely can't stand it. So I'm in here doing just this. And then I'm going to avoid my bathroom until I can get the bleach smell to go away because it's just too much. All right, we're not reorganizing. We're not putting anything away. We're just hunting and gathering trash like our ancestors did before us. All right. Oh, I'm still hunting and gathering trash on the floor. I love that. Okay, so I do have a couple of pretty phenomenal stories for you guys, in my opinion, and that's the opinion that matters because it's going to crack me up the whole time. So I have two really good stories for you guys, in my humble opinion. But then I also want to come back talking about why I am the way that I am and why I am a catastrophic person. Also, I bought the Cakes nipple covers because I never want anybody to know that I've ever had or ever will have nipples, and I like them. Just side notes. They're great and I saw them on Instagram, so I bought them and I like them. All right. So I did pick up my RV. In case you guys are curious, it is finally healed is what I was going to say, but it did not self-heal. I actually took it to a mechanic. They fixed it. It took us so long to go get it, grab it and drive it back. But I'm glad I have it. It's in storage. And then, we should be able to go on a road trip maybe in July. Really excited about that. That is not the story I wanted to tell you. So last night I had ordered groceries and I thought the deliverer was calling me being like, oh, I'm lost. And so without looking at my phone, I answered it and it was some dude, which I left. So this guy was like, hey, is this you? And I was like, yeah, it's me, gonna tell you where I live so you can figure out how to get to my house, right? And no, he's like, oh, what was he with? I think he was with Customs and Border Patrol, apparently. And very thick Indian accent. And his name was like Leroy, I know there are squirrels outside and it's bothering you, but I'm doing a voiceover and it's very important, so leave me alone. Okay, so his name was like James McLaren. And I was like, "Oh, are you Irish?" And he's like, yeah. Anyways, ma'am. So apparently they had gotten my very big package of $30,000 and drugs. And they got it before it got to my house, which is a bummer. Like, I wouldn't mind that $30,000 cash. And I was like, okay, but what drugs was it? What drugs was it? And he was like, there were drugs. And I was like, was it fentanyl? Because I'm very against fentanyl, but like, is it weed? Because I don't think he should be so dramatic about my package of weed and $30,000. And so he's like, ma'am, you were not taking this seriously. I was like, I think I'm taking it as seriously as I need to. But so it was Customs and Border Patrol stopped it in Texas. They called the post office in to look through the package, and then a sheriff issued the warrant for my arrest. But also, I wanted you guys to know that the FDA and the FBI, I think, and one other federal agency, they were listening to my phone call. So I thought that was amazing. So we had the eavesdropping of federal agents who was working in cahoots with the post office and border patrol, but a sheriff out of Texas was issuing the warrant for my arrest. And I was like, well, if it's out of Texas, I live in Georgia. I don't really care about that. It's like, are they really going to cross state lines? And maybe I just won't go to Texas. And he's like, ma'am, we have issued a state, like they're not going to execute the warrant right now. I was like, well, thank God, because I'm busy. I have to get my groceries. They were just dropped off. I need to put this chicken away before it goes bad. And so then he said that, he's like, okay, well, the shipment came in from China. And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. Do you think it's because I speak Chinese? And then he goes, and then so we got the 2 packages. And I was like, sir, you said it was 1. How many packages are there? And he goes, well, it was 1 from China, 1 from Sinaloa, Mexico. And then I was like, okay, but what was in them? And so he was like, there was meth, there was fentanyl, there was hydrocodone, there was $60,000. I was like, you told me that it was $30,000. Now it's $60,000. Which package had what in it? I need to know. And he's like, none of that matters. I was like, it matters to me because I'm going to need to get a lawyer. There's a warrant out for my arrest from a sheriff in Texas because of my drug smuggling scheme that apparently got caught. And so he kept yelling at me to please stop talking and pay attention, which obviously I didn't do because I didn't care that very much. And and Mark is listening the whole time and he's like, oh no, you're going to jail. And and so finally when he was like, I think somebody stole your ID because, we got the package in El Paso and then in San Antonio, we issued the warrant for your arrest. And I was like, those are very far apart. What does San Antonio have to do with anything? Eventually, he asked me if I use like Temu or TikTok to maybe purchase anything. And I said yes, because their algorithms were the best and sucked me in. And I just couldn't stop shopping off of those apps. And that's when he chose to hang up on me because according to my husband, I had way too much glee in my voice because I was so excited to be scammed. It just felt really nice. He wasn't trying very hard. I feel like he tried to yell at me a little bit, but I just wish he had tried harder. And so I don't know. Next time I get the scam call that tells me that the federal crimes that I'm committing has a local sheriff that's not local to me whatsoever with a warrant out for my arrest, I will cry and plead for mercy. But it was a solid 20 minutes and I want to keep them on the phone for at least an hour next time. I did learn to not immediately drop that I didn't care about warrants out for my arrest because my husband was a U.S. Marshal and that I could probably exchange favors with somebody to get out of arrest because they'll hang up on you immediately. But yes, next time I will be properly scared and beg for forgiveness and hopefully be asked to go get Google gift cards to redeem so that I don't go to jail. Okay, so during that story, you saw me get the toilet started, some dishes, picking up the trash in the kitchen. So that was when I realized after I did the toilet thing and I went to go do some other stuff that it just smelled too much like bleach. And so I closed my bedroom door, turned on the filter fans, and now we're going to move out into the main living space. And I'm going to try to get as much of the kitchen area done as I can, starting with the big island. The big island, when it is covered in clutter, and it does catch so much clutter, but it does start to spill out and make the rest of the space look awful. If the island is clean and pretty, it kind of just helps. Like, you know what I mean? The rest of the house can be clean and pretty, but the island a mess, the whole house is messy. But honestly, in reverse, if I have a clean island, but the rest of the house is messy, the rest of the house still looks messy. It doesn't work in my favor, but it is the place that I need to clean off first. So that is what I am working on. And I am feeling pretty okay about it. Like, it is a grind. I'm not excited about doing this, but I am fine with how far we're going. And then pretty soon I hit a wall because I think around this point, it's been about 2 hours. I can't actually remember, but I remember being so disheartened, being like, it's been 2 hours and I'm still not even close. I have kind of gotten used to the idea that I can clean my whole house in about 2.5, 3 hours if I stay more on top of it. And it's a little soul crushing to be like, nope, not even close. You backslid well beyond that point, and now you're just gonna suffer. I hated it. It was really stupid. But that's fine. We're moving on. We are weaving our way through the house with no real sense of order, but I just need to get crap done, okay? So, the other thing is, I wanted to tell you guys about my HOA drama. My HOA is going absolutely wild. I am loving this season. It's just filled with twists and turns and amazingness all of the time. So, what happened, and I know it sounds so boring, you guys, but leave me alone. I'm 43. Let me get my jollies where I may. Oh, okay, hard, really quick. So, here I took my sponge. I replaced my dishes sponge with a new sponge, and now my old dishes sponge is now going to live a second life as my cleaning sponge. But how I differentiate that for my family so they don't use a sponge that has Clorox on it or, any cleaning products on a dish that they may just go ahead and eat with, I cut off a corner of the sponge. Any sponge in my house with a corner cut off, that means it's used as a cleaning product sponge. Please don't use that on your dishes. So that's what I was doing there, is clipping that off, feeling pretty great about that. I'm also reusing shopping bags as trash bags because I am a frugal queen. We all know that about me. Okay, so we had to get the chunks of food off. Then we have to clean it with the cleaner. And then I go back because if I clean it with the cleaner, I popped my knuckle, and leave it like that, it will be very streaky. So we're just trying to get the streaks off with this little shiny window rag or whatever. I love these things. I hate all microfiber towels, which tend to be sold with this. Remember when they were like doing that MLM where they were like, it's like antibacterial on its own. You don't even need cleaning product. And gross, because like, are you sure you can get salmonella out with your microfiber cloth, Barbara? Like, is that really what we're going to do here? So I hated all that, but it became really popular like a decade ago. And what I remember coming out from that were the window cloths. And I am such a fan of the window cloths. They polish stainless steel really well. They do clean your windows without too much streakiness. I'm a fan of those. Everything else can go straight to hell. All right. Also, we're switching over decor. I just don't have any decor that transitions from like St. Patrick's Spring to deep summer. Like, May and June have a different vibe than July and August. And I have nothing that vibes out with May and June. But I pulled all of my Americana, as apparently I have Halloween on top of my Americana, which I don't like, but I just swapped it over. I was thinking about taking all of it out and putting it in with my spring stuff, but that doesn't make sense because in this bag, it starts with January. My January stuff is in there, my Valentine stuff, and then this stuff, it's just annoying as all crap. During a live stream, I was talking to somebody else. I'll get back to the HOA stuff, I promise. because this video is so long and I have to have stuff to talk about. So we will definitely loop back. Don't worry. But I did want to mention something about the home decor. Look, those coral colored flowers are my only thing that like kind of felt correct. And so I just removed a lot of the greenery stuff and put my coral flowers in. It's very sad. I even went back to Hobby Lobby, allegedly, and I still couldn't find anything that just did it for me. And then I went to Home Goods and it smelled like chemical packaging. And so I made it 6 steps inside that store and I was like, not worth it. And I left. I did find a really cute fake floral arrangement that I was like, oh, it was $100. It was not, oh, it was like, oh God, what? And so I abandoned it. I was talking on my live stream. Somebody mentioned that they had a hard time transitioning from summer to fall. Like they didn't feel like there was any real good way to lean into that. The answer is sunflowers. So you get the bright, brilliant yellow sunflowers and you put that into your summertime Americana decor. If you don't live in America, I can't help you with that. Um, get your still do the Americana. It's fine. It'll be totally fine. Also, in my laundry room cleaning video, I said suck it, Canada, because I lined up cans that made the American flag to me and I felt very patriotic. And then I said suck it, Canada. And there were people who were like deeply offended. Somebody was like, it's a shame you got political. Ma'am, excuse me, I have been bullying Canada before Trump tried to make it patriotic. Like that, how dare he? By the way, I did compose and send him a cease and desist because bullying Canada is my personality trait, not his political structure. I feel like he's trying to pull focus. The meaner he gets to Canada, the less special it feels when I do it. And I'm not going to stop being mean to Canada. I love bullying them, specifically the specific feral Canadians. It brings my heart joy to make fun of you. That's all I ever want to do in my life is I just want to say mean things to you, see if I get you, cry a little bit, and then be like, oh, sorry. So, it will never not be funny how you guys say sorry. And then I'm going to go to Canada and I'm going to physically poke you guys with sticks. Probably not, though, because that seems really dicey. But I am so looking forward to my trip to Canada. It's going to be amazing. So, sorry that you unsubbed because you thought I was being serious about Canada, but I highly doubt you ever subbed to me if that was your tipping point. Like, that was the thing I said that tipped you off. Not all of my other unhinged crap. It was that. Anyway. Sunflowers, back to sunflowers. So you mix the sunflowers in with whatever your summer vibe is. I recommend Americana for literally anyone, especially if you're not an American, because that would be really funny. Maybe I'll start decorating with like Canadian stuff. When is a very Canadian month? February? Is February like a solid Canadian month? Maybe. Yes. Oh, and then it would be cute because I could have a lot of red stuff and the Canadian maple flag. But then also Valentine's, I could pull out some of my Valentine's stuff and maybe just tuck away the maple leaves. And that will be a very cohesive look. And then Valentine's will pass because I only like having Valentine's decor out for like 4 days. Then I can pull that back and then I can go back to solid Canadian and I'll learn your national anthem, which I'm sure sucks. It's probably, oh, Canada. Yeah, I know that part. Our home and native lands. And then something like super happy to be America's hat, and I wish I was better at Olympic sports. I'll Google the actual lyrics and tattoo them on my leg. Anyway, sunflowers, back to sunflowers, because that's what we were talking about. You put your sunflowers out, but you get the really yellow ones. And as you transition to fall, you pull away your summery stuff. You keep the sunflowers, you introduce a deeper orange sunflower to it. And then you start adding your faller decor, like the gourds, the pumpkins. Pumpkins are gourds, just so you know. The old red truck, hay, because everybody's a farmer in the fall, clearly. And then you can later take away the sunflowers and just go, probably hard fall / Halloween style. And that's how you do that. And that was a very streamlined, no deviation. There was 0 side quests in that story about my HOA. So the HOA, you guys, at one point we've had the builder HOA, right? So the builders who build the neighborhood set up the initial HOA and they do it like complete assholes. They're like all of the rules. One of the rules is you can't have a sign in your yard because it wasn't for cohesiveness. Like, don't put a political sign in your yard because we want everybody to be besties. It was more along the lines of we don't want for sale signs when people move out of the neighborhood because it competes with the new build and we can put new build signs because we're amazing. What the hell? That's so stupid. And also they're like, and it's your fault that we're destroying the roads. And so you'll have to repave that on your own. Suck it. Like, it just sucks. Also, I'm tired of the dark rug. I do want to put a rug back down here, but it's too dark for me. This is coming back probably in October for Halloween. And then maybe have to get replaced for a Christmassy one, but it's too dark. I don't want it anymore. I'm thinking about taking the rug that's under my kitchen table and moving that out here, but I need to take all of my rugs to get washed. And I wasn't willing to do that today. I actually really need to get that done. Maybe I'll do that next week. And I struggle so hard, but I eventually get it off, and that is fine by me. So the HOA finally changed over from builders to us, like the neighborhood, right? And we are running people out of that position left, right, and center. Like, we're a vicious neighborhood of just kind of jerks, which I really appreciate. And it does feel a little bit cliquey. So the first board that took over, they all quit after a year. So we have a new board. Now, the new board president is just kind of going wild. Like, he's like, I canceled this. I'm changing this. I renegotiated this. And some of it was great because like the people who are maintaining the community pool was like one of the builder's brothers. And so we were paying excessive amounts of money for a pool that breaks all of the time. Like, it's never functioning. And so they're like, we don't want to pay your brother this crazy good contract. We're going to find somebody else. And so he's lowering the bills, which I love. And then out of nowhere, he was like, I quit. I'm done. I'm resigning. And so that was weird. And it turns out that he was voted off by the other two board members because they wanted to do something else. And like, nobody talked about it. And then out of nowhere in the city page, they were like, there are going to be public swimming lessons at my community's pool, and it's open to the public. And we were just like, that sounds like a crazy liability. What does our insurance say about it? How is this? We can't even keep our pool open with the people we have using it. It's going to be too many people. Everything's going to break. What if someone drowns? Like, this is insane. And the board's like, oh no, we never said that was real. And so people are calling the swim instructor on recorded lines and are like, did you offer the board money for this? And she's like, yeah, of course. I always do. It's 50-50 split. And so then they're going back to the board. They're like, why are you embezzling money? And they were like, we never said that. So they canceled that and people are pissed. So the old HOA president's coming out and just like giving everybody's address out, their personal phone numbers, their email addresses. They open a second Facebook page that I got invited to. Really excited about that. And now this second splinter cell is emailing everybody in the community and they are like planning this coup. And the new board, everybody, they're like, you can't just have two board members. So they got a third guy and then everybody's spouse. So that there were 6 board members, but there were 3 sets of married couples that nobody got to vote on or talk about. We were all like, no, that's very corrupt. And then they're like, we were just kidding. It wasn't our spouses. That was like a typo. And so Splinter Cell held a meeting and they were like, we're going to hold this meeting. We're going to have a quorum and we are going to elect new board members. And our management, by the way, our management company is not our HOA and they suck. They're the worst. They're terrible. But the management company is like, we don't recognize that. We're like, dude, you're like the secretary. Nobody asked you for anything at any point. Like, you held no power here. Like, I can't even imagine if a CEO's like, we're going to bring in this CFO and the secretary's like, I don't recognize that. It's like, no, you take notes and you manage payments. I guess she's the secretary / pay accounts receivable. So anyways, and I love being a secretary. I did it for like a year, so I'm not crapping on it. And you do have excessive amounts of power. I'm just saying that you don't really have the rulemaking authority. Anyway, so now board is like, that one's make believe, you're not allowed to do that. And new splinter cells, like the bylaws say we can, and it's really real. So we had the special usurper meeting, right? I didn't go because I don't care that much. I just want to see the drama on the side unfold. It's fine by me. This is not my forever home. And if it gets too crazy, I'll just leave. And I will move to Connecticut, maybe, or Kentucky. I wanted to start with like the K sound: Connecticut, Kentucky, Kansas. I'm out. I'm out. Not Colorado, because that's not K, that's a K, right? Okay, hold on. Where else can I live, you guys? Connecticut, Kansas, Colorado. Okay, I'll give you Colorado. Kentucky, Kazakhstan. I'd have to swap out my decor though. I'd keep my Canadian decor, just tell everybody I was Canadian. Maybe they'd like me more. Crap. Well, those are the states, those are the places I can live now. Canada. Oh my God. How did that escape me? I highly doubt, like, if you have a rigorous, like, process where you're vetting who comes into Canada, I'm pretty sure they'll look at my YouTube and now I can't be Canadian. Oh, I didn't think it through. Okay. Well, okay. So I guess I'm not going to be Canadian anymore. Damn it. What? Oh, so the usurper board came into play, and they're like, we're inviting the actual other board to come to the meeting because we need to address these concerns. And actual board's like, oh, we're busy. You know what they were busy with? A super secret board meeting where they were electing other people on. So Splinter Cell had a board meeting. They addressed all the concerns. They had the quorum. Legally, they elected 4 new people to be on the board. They weren't taking over the board. Well, yeah, numbers wise, they were taking over the board, but they weren't being the new board. They were joining the board, right? But the original board in their super secret meeting hired 3 people, and now nobody's acknowledging each other. Like, no one acknowledges each other. And the board on our Facebook page is like, communicating to us on a Facebook page isn't official. Like, if we deign to answer you, fine, but we don't have to. You have to email the management company. And we're like, we do all of the time. He never answers us. We get 0 communication from you guys, from the management association when we email you. Like, the only way to get your attention is to like publicly shame you on Facebook. So now usurper boards, like, fine, we're getting lawyers and stuff. And it's just amazing. That's where we left it, is fine, we're getting lawyers, and Facebook's not the valid place to communicate, and everybody is posting their opinions and everything like that. And I was like, are we going to merge and have a mega board? Like, what is happening? And also, can we fire the management company? And people are like, I was like, here, I Googled a bunch of management companies in our area, but like, just as an idea. And people are like, do you have recommendations? I was like, no, I Googled it. I said, I Googled, not I deep dived. I researched. I said, I Google, here, friends, anybody have opinions on this? I'm not putting effort into this crap. And I love the implosion. I'm loving the shit show of it. People are really mad about potholes right now. And like, the new board, the super secret new board, is taking us not liking potholes like pretty personally. Like, we offended them. We're like, hey, is this pothole like a sinkhole? Because it seems like a sinkhole and not a pothole. And they were like, why are you always coming at us with that? And I was like, okay, that's cool. It's so amazing. I love it so much. Everything's imploding. I can't wait until the actual street fight that I'm hoping comes into play, because that would be really fun. I think it would be fun. Let's street fight. And then, I don't know. And different streets are making their own Facebook groups now, which makes like the main Facebook group sad, because they're like, why are you guys doing that? And they're like, I don't know. We just like our street a lot. Like, we can do what we want. It's just, this is peak. I have so few life problems that this is my favorite problem that's ever come up. It's amazing. All right, we have moved on to the bedroom. I did start a bedroom clean, so it's a little bit cleaner than it was deep down inside. I did clean off my ceiling fan, and I was considering adding in that footage. I clean off my ceiling fan, I pick up some of the trash, and I also dust and declutter the bookshelf that's behind me. And I move my old chair upstairs into the playroom for the kids to sit on. My old chair is really low to the ground, but my desk that I got, um, because I had to get a different desk. I didn't really have to. I chose to get a different desk because the old desk I was using, if I ever touched it, it would squeak and you could hear it in the voiceover. And I hated that. And it didn't fit on the chair. So, like, I keep like just kneecapping myself. So, I got the new desk to go with the newer chair. And the new desk, the lowest it goes, because it's an adjustable. So, I could also walk on my treadmill and do my work, which is fantastic because editing down this video, besides the voiceover part that I'm doing currently, because you're listening to my voice, but the stuff I do prior to this, I think that took me 7 hours, I believe. Like it was a full day. And sitting for that long is not good. So I do have a walking pad. That's not the point. But old chair was too low and somebody was watching because I showed you guys me editing and somebody's like, "Oh, yeah, that's really terrible for you. Your desk is way too high." And I was like, "I understand and it's very painful. Like it just doesn't feel correct." So I got a new chair and I moved my old chair upstairs and then and then I gave up. I did. And it sucked. But I lost all energy and motivation and then other things came up like the weekends, and I'm not doing crap on the weekend. I have to do so much stuff on this weekend. We'll loop back to what my weekend's going to look like in a minute. But yeah, so let's clean my room. It's better than it should be, but it is still a humongous disaster. And I got my bathroom clean. So bathroom is clean and that is the only laundry room. Sorry. My bathroom's clean and my laundry room is clean. Those are the only two rooms that are currently done in my home. And we're still weaving through. Now, also, I haven't really gone and addressed the entryway. And I am ready to start self-negotiating where I'm like, okay, what can we cut out? And that's why I am doing this house clean like this. It absolutely doesn't make sense. And it is not like, it's not the most efficient way to do things. I should commit to a room, clean it, move to the next room. And I'm not even chasing dopamine like I do half the time where people are like, why are you ping ponging? And it's like, my brain's telling me where to go. I'm chasing dopamine and I need to clean. So if this is what feels good next, that's what I'm going to do next because none of this feels good. Zero dopamine input. But I am still just trying to weave it through to where I literally cannot edit out this video and have it make sense. So I have to clean my house. I have to do it. It is a carrot, it is a stick, and I have to get this done. So, still folding laundry. That's never going to stop. Laundry until I die. Oh, I hate it so much. But I did make my bed. Also, I just had recently changed out my sheets, and that's why I changed my sheets and I stripped my duvet. And that's why I had to put my duvet back on. And I remember telling somebody, I was like, no, I'm really good at putting duvets on. I'm awesome at it. And so on this one, I am so not awesome at it. I struggled really, really hard. It to the point where I was like, did I twist the comforter inside? Is that why nothing's lining up? And I struggled bust the whole time. And I was so sad because I just bragged about my awesome duvet skills, my mad duvet skills. Stupid. Okay. I was trying to sort through my mega epic backup of papers to shred, and my shredder died. Not the engine part, like you can hear it turn on, it goes, it makes all its noise, but the crunchy teeth don't crunch or teeth. It won't accept any papers. It is just broken. And so now I haven't been able to shred any paper. I'm terrified of the paper because the last time I tried shredding papers, a cockroach ran out from the cardboard, tried to eat me. I screamed. It was horrifying. Now I'm really scared of the stuff in my room. And I will just get a new shredder, or I could probably, since I built Cardboard Mountain again, well, Cardboard Mountain is rebuilding as we speak. Maybe I'll just bring all the papers with me and dump it off there for their mass paper shred and not pay for a new shredder that will probably just break. I like the idea of having a shredder because ideal Beth, like when I get the planner that changes my entire personality and who I am basic fundamentally as a human, when I find that planner, which could be the planners I bought at the beginning of the year, still haven't used them. So who knows? Maybe it's those. I used one for like 3 days. I used one for 1.5 days and I felt really good about it, but haven't opened them since. I'm looking at some right now. So maybe, okay, if that happens, ideally, I would shred 99 pieces of paper every month, starting at the beginning of the month, which is kind of an awkward mom thing where she was pinning the 99 things of declutter at the start of the month and mine was shredding papers. I still loved that. I wanted to do it. It actually felt really good, but then my shredder died. So maybe I'll get a shredder. Maybe it's because I was trying to plow through 1,000 things in one go. Well, it was 99 things, but over a span of 4 days. So it was like 300 items, if you will. But maybe that's what I'll do. I'll take all of the papers and I'll take those to get mass shredded. Then I will get a shredder that hopefully doesn't die immediately. And then I can stay on top of my paper hoard, which I've had my entire adult life. Not just those papers. Like I've done this. I've done this before, you guys. I've lived this life many a time. I am in a groundhog loop of just groundhogging and every day I shred. That's what I think I will try to do. Maybe I'll also try using my planners. I don't know. Maybe we'll be crazy. So I am sweeping off this little corner. We're still doing things in batches. And I was like, oh, since I did my nightstand, I'll go over and do my husband's nightstand. So that's why it was just a quick little pivot over there. And I do feel better now that this space is exposed. I don't think there are hiding cockroaches trying to kill me. Oh, after this whole house clean though, uh-oh. Okay, super weirdly, my editing software just crashed then and just like, no, I hate you. And so I had to reload everything and blah, blah, blah. So, oh, after this whole house clean, what I was saying is like, then I started having my side quests at 3 a.m. And one of them, I went into the bathroom and hallucinated a cockroach in my shower. And it immediately disappeared. It was so fast. And I was like, but what if? And so I turn on all the lights and I pick up my laundry hamper. And I was like, I know it's going to run out. I know it's going to run out. And so I'm looking and it's not there. And I was like, okay, I absolutely hallucinated it. I'm mostly asleep. I was worried that there would be one that crawled up through the drain. There was. It was huge. It was on the side of my shower. It was at least 2 inches long. And I know they crawl up through the showers. It's so hard for me to shower now. Now I kind of want like a massive hair clog to go into my shower so that cockroaches cannot come up through my shower. I feel like that is the solution. So I'm just going to start brushing my hair in the shower, shedding as much as I can. Maybe I'll stop eating properly to where I start suffering massive hair loss and I can just get that clot to happen so that the cockroaches do not come up. But I get a broom, have a discussion with my daughter in the kitchen because she's still awake. We have been working to reset her sleep schedule because she went full insane. And so we talked briefly at the water cooler, and then I got the broom and I killed the crap out of that cockroach. Ugh, Georgia is hard. It is really hard. Also, I have the bug person coming today, hopefully in the middle of this voiceover. So I have to stop what I'm doing because there are wasps building a nest at my front door. Like I just cannot escape the Georgia of it all. Okay. I bought this chair. That's what we're doing next. I bought this chair. It adjusts up and down. I want it for the height, but also it has like flappy sides that I'll show you in a minute. But see, I unboxed it. I took the cardboard into the garage and the dishes were done. So I had whichever kid take the dishes out and I'm going to do another load of dishes because I know I need to keep going. And it's going to take me forever to finish the chair. Okay, so we'll go to the kitchen. We're doing this. Then we'll finish the chair and finish the room. And then that can also be closed out. So that's what I'm doing. I do know at some point I'm like really sick of it and I am really negotiating out the entryway. So I forced the entryway at some point. Okay. So this is easy though. We're just getting everything in. I love you guys for being such jerks about me doing my dishes before I put them in the dishwasher. Thank you guys for that. I appreciate it so much. However, when everybody comes in and is like, finish out a room, like they want me to do that, I am going to just drop a zombie as a response because I hope the zombies eat you first. And that will be me just manifesting the secret, you think about the positivity that you want in your life. And sometimes I am positive that I want a zombie to eat people first. I have a list. Starts with Canadians. I'm just kidding. Please let me into Canada when I want to move and I need I was going to say C word places, but that is inappropriate. How dare you guys? All the time. Okay, dishes going. And now we can pivot back. Wait, where do I go? Yeah, back to this. So we're going to assemble this chair. And I hate assembling things. I am so tired of doing it. And I have to do it so much this weekend. All right, this weekend, let's talk about that. I'm going to move my feet. So hold on. Ugh. Sorry, I tried to edit out any extra noise so you guys don't know that I exist. I'm hoping you guys think I'm just a floating head at this point. But it's an hour into the video. You guys are fine. Just pretend like you didn't hear it and that's good. All right, so we did the bed I just released, the Flexi Spot bed. And that's important to me. I want you guys to think about that. So my friend Jessica, her daughter who fell into the fire pit and had to be medevaced and get skin grafts and everything like that, her son was just diagnosed with leukemia because they are going through it. I don't even know. And so when it first happened, it's been very recent, but a few weeks ago, I was like, do you want a recliner? Do you want a recliner? And she's like, no, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I need. Like, I'm just leave me alone kind of thing. Not rude. That sounds rude, but what she was trying to say is like, I don't know anything. I can't think about anything. I don't want to talk about anything. And I was like, cool, have a great day. And so later she messages me and she's like, okay, do you have a spare recliner? And I was like, no, I have a company who keeps talking to me about a recliner. Can I reach out to them on your behalf? And she's like, yes, because Mason, he collapsed on Mother's Day. She found out her son had cancer on her birthday. Mother's Day, he collapsed and was not doing well. And he just is in a lot of physical pain because his leukemia did cause, it led to a few fractures in his spine. And so he is in a brace. He's just uncomfortable, as you would be. And they started chemo, and chemo doesn't feel great. And so it's scary. And so he has been just laying in his bed in his room in the dark. And she's like, he does feel comfortable in the recliner in the living room. So we were thinking we could put it in the room, but then he wouldn't have a comfortable place to sit with the family. And that's very isolating. And I was like, I'm on it. I'm so excited to be on this. And so I was thinking, I was doing the bed from FlexiSpot and the chairs from FlexiSpot. And I was looking at different things, thinking about it. And what they also have is an articulating bed, that raises itself in the bed. And they have a table that goes over the bed. If you think of at a hospital, there's overbed, they sell mattresses. And since I was wrapping up that ad read for them, I reached out and I was like, hey, my friend's son has cancer. I want to redo his room. I want you to send me the articulating bed frame, a new mattress, the overbed thing. And then I separately reached out to them and asked for I was like, yeah, I would love to do the recliner ad for you. Let's do this. And so the recliner people were like, yep, here you go. Here's the budget. That's just going to be a straight ad read that you guys will see soon. But the other people were like, we would love to redo Mason's room. That sounds great. And so all of that stuff is shipping. I'm waiting on one more piece of the recliner, and that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Unfortunately, Mason got a massive blood clot in his leg, and so he is back at the hospital. They had to surgically remove it and put in different blood thinner things and a stent in his leg. And he has a genetic mutation that is really not okay with leukemia. And so we were anticipating that he was already going to be in the hospital for about 6 weeks starting in June. But my friend Jessica, mom doesn't think he'll come home between now and that stay because he has to get a different kind of aggressive chemo. So I really wanted to get this room done so he would be able to enjoy it for a few days. But because FlexiSpot also agreed to some of my sponsorship fee, I'm able to buy a whole bunch of other stuff that I will put it in the room. We'll show you the room review. There won't be a face react because Mason's in the hospital, and that's fine. Everybody will be okay with that. And then we can pack up all of the other stuff like a projector screen that will stream Netflix and stuff like that. There is a really cool weighted blanket with a washable cover. I got him a Lego set. Hopefully, I don't know what the rules are there for contamination or anything, but we got a bunch of different stuff. And that is what we're going to be doing this weekend. So you will see a bunch more ad sponsored stuff. And I am so excited. I love it. I love that I was able to finagle this for my friends. I love that I was like, I have a platform that I can reach out and ask a sponsor to send me all of this cool stuff so that Mason can be comfortable. I'm so excited about it. Like, this is the dream. This is why I want to be a dictator, because I can just like force people to do things for my friends. That is the whole point of a fun dictatorship. Fun for me, not for some people. But, really fun for me and for my friends, as all dictators are. All right, so we are assembling this chair, and my son came in. He needed help with word problems because, man, word problems just suck sometimes. And I had told him, I was like, I think a lot of these are wrong. And he came back, and I had only read the first word problem and assigned that format to all of them. And so he comes back and he's like, I got the same answer as I did previously. I was like, oh yeah, man. Okay, so you did that one right. I feel kind of bad about it. But so we are both YouTuber influencing and momming right now. But man, math sometimes sucks. Like, I did not do well at math until I needed to learn math for like science reasons. And then I abandoned science reasons. And I was like, no, I'm going to trophy wife. You don't need science to trophy wife. In case you're curious, if you guys are worried about like, what do I major in to be a trophy wife? What classes, like what do I need? Dazzling personality and some sucker that you caught when he was 23 and you were like, this is going to be super beneficial. And then you force him to stay with you for 20 years. That's all you need to do. It's fine. It's really easy. You just find the perfect sucker fish and trap him. Like, it took me, I think, 7 years to actually baby trap him. But once I did, I knocked it out with twins. And I was like, boom, 2 for 1. Now you're definitely stuck with me. And then we had Calvin just to make sure, like for sure. But also, like, maybe I'll baby trap him later. I don't know. That'd be fun. Oh my God, it'd be twins again. I know it would be twins again. When we were expecting Calvin, so we were really lucky. We were like, oh, let's have a baby. And then we immediately got pregnant with the twins. And then later, it made sense at the time and absolutely did not make sense. Like, what were we thinking? The twins were about 18 months, I would say. Calvin was born at the beginning of April, and the twins turned 2 at the end of April. So math that yourselves. I'm not going to do it for you. And we were like, oh, we should have a third kid. That would be really convenient because Mark was going to go away for training for like 6 months. And I was like, it'll be the easy part of the pregnancy. I won't have to worry about it. You'll go there, then come back here. And then the last 3 months of pregnancy, it'll be great, right? And so we immediately get pregnant with Calvin. And I was like, oh, fun. And I was terrified. I was like, we need a head count. We need a head count because what if it's twins? That would be the scariest thing ever. And you keep hearing nightmare stories of other people where you're like, they did have two batches of twins, or like they had twins, then a single baby, and then triplets. And like, that would be horrible. That would be so horrible. I do remember my friend. I think I've told this story before, but I don't care because it's hilarious. I had a friend, and if you have early preemies, like you get into different programs. And so you kind of see the same people who tend to have the same multiples or, triplets or whatever. And so I've known her since the early days, and she was getting into the school, the special needs preschool that is part special needs, part, if you were early preemies, you can get in. There was low income, but then also if you have a very well socially adapted neurotypical child, you can test into this preschool. And people really wanted to because it was $70, I think, a month to take your kids to this preschool. But they had to be like exemplary. And people really wanted their kids to go there so that they were social peers and they would, help balance out the class. And so I was walking through, I was dropping the twins off who were a little bit older, and she was there. And I was like, oh my God, you're here. Like, it's happening for you. Your kids are in preschool. This is happening. How do you feel about it? Like, you survived. And she's like, oh, I feel pregnant about it. It was so funny to me. Like the second she got out of the trenches and she was going to have a half day to herself where she wasn't trying to keep 3 toddlers alive at once, she was pregnant. So funny. Also, she had girl, boy, girl triplets. And I was like, well, what are you having? She's like, oh, a girl. And her son was pissed. He's like, no, I'm way too outnumbered. I so vividly remember that conversation. It was hilarious. I also have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, yeah, my feet don't touch. I bought this, my feet don't touch. That's the lowest it goes down. My feet don't touch. It does have like the footrest thing, but that makes me put my feet out straight. So I do have a like under desk footstool that I stole back from my husband and I put it under. And so that's better. Now my desk raises up significantly, but the sides of this chair fold out so I can pull my legs in and cross my legs, which I love doing. I hate having my feet dangle down. It doesn't feel good. I love pulling my legs up. I love sitting with my legs crossed. Like when I'm driving long distance, often I am pulling my left leg up and tucking it in my chair with me. It just feels better. And I know people are like, oh, that's POTS. I don't have POTS. I have crazy. And I love that for me. And plus, POTS is too trendy. I refuse. I only want to be crazy. All right, so we are, again, just doing tiny little sections. We're going to clean off the space, and then I need for it to dry, and then I can put my chair back. And so I was like, since it's drying, we have to do something in the entryway, or I will pretend that I don't have an entryway. And it would look like this, and I would ignore it. And I remember, there's my boy again. I remember I was getting something delivered and the guy, when he was dropping it off, like looked past me at this chaos entryway thing. And I felt really ashamed where I was just like, oh, I'm redoing my son's room kind of thing, which I did. Look, all of the stuff that I drug out of my son's room for making his bed, I left the packaging and the actual bed part. I just need everything. That's what's really starting Box Mountain, and also a few other things. I need to call for a bulk item pickup and get that old box spring and maybe the bed frame out. It's just not a good bed frame. It's very wobbly. It's kind of old. I don't think I want to try to give it away or sell it, but maybe I am over the let me just throw everything away. I did last time I had the bulk item pickup. I did have stuff like that out, and somebody came through anyways and grabbed it before the trash people grabbed it. So maybe if I put it out like very prominently, somebody will come by and grab the bed frame. Maybe that's what I'll do. All right, this is not so terrible though. Like how just it did make my garage a little bit terrible, and I hate that. I just feel like it's always 2 steps forward and basically two steps back because I get one area organized and I ruin another area doing it. I'm a little bit tired of that. But then also deep down, I'm like, well, good. At least my garage is getting terrible again so that later I will have more content. Like that isn't fun. And I'm not deliberately messing things up to make more content. My life does that naturally, anyways. But I do have that in the back of my head where I'm like, fine, I guess, I'll clean it. Maybe that's part of my reason. Like when I was looking at my overfilling trash in my bathroom and I was like, just empty the trash, just empty the trash. And then I'm like, no, because you're going to do a video of you cleaning the bathroom anyways. Don't bother. Like, why not let it just sit so it can be a part of the video? And then I just kept not doing the video because I was so caught up doing other things. And it just got so much worse. That's the downside to doing lifestyle content where you're like, oh, I'm going to clean my own house. You're just like, if you're not doing it for a video, why bother doing it at certain points? Ugh. But I am getting better at cleaning my house. So I don't know. There are drawbacks to any job. Probably. I don't know. What was my drawback for working at Starbucks? I loved it. Oh, getting up at 4 a.m, being there at 4 a.m to open the store. Ugh. And I didn't hate it I did hate it so much. I did hate it so much. I'm not going to lie about that. But it was kind of peaceful setting up the store. It was a while ago when like you would take all of the pastries out, you would wear gloves and you would stack them nicely on the dishes and you would like label them with what date you're supposed to throw them away and you would start the espresso machine and like it was the first thing you went to do so that it would be ready so you could pour yourself an espresso and drink it like immediately. And you would just do all this stuff. And I often opened with this man who whistled the whole time. And let me tell you, the fastest way to get me to feed you to a zombie horde is making mouth nonsense noise. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear you whistle. You're not that good at it. It's stupid. It's so much. It's overwhelming. It makes my skin crawl. Why are you making extra noise just to ruin my life? But I wouldn't say that to him because that would have been rude. I think maybe a couple times I was like, shh, if you don't mind, stop it. I'd rather die. But I love doing that. And then closing at night was okay. It wasn't my favorite because I hated mopping everything and you had to mop in the evening and in the afternoon. But I loved it when you mopped in the middle of the afternoon. I don't know if they changed it. It made the floor so slippery, but people would still come in and order. So you're just trying not to wipe out holding a scalding hot beverage in your hand and cracking your brain on the floor. So that was fun. It like added a little challenge level and that was good. All right. We can do, also it was like playing one of those games. Like remember a Cake Mania game on your phone where people would line up and you're trying to make the cakes and people would get mad. And it's just like seeing how quickly you could process people's orders. It's that, but in real life. Maybe I'll go get a job at Starbucks. I wonder if it's the same. But it was so much fun. It was so much fun and so low stress. And people would get so stressed out. And I'm like, guys, nobody's going to detonate themselves in here. Like, we're pretty good. Because I came basically straight from Iraq, a month and a half to out-process from the Army. And then I was making you guys lattes. Like, I was like, this is so low stakes, you guys. It doesn't even matter. I highly doubt somebody's going to kill me if I accidentally put whipped cream on their mocha, but they ask for it to not have whip. Like, you just remake the drink. It's not, this is cool. And it was so much fun. And I loved it. It was a really weird transition, but it was really fun. Okay, so then I loop back to entryway because bedroom is done. Sorry I did that weird edit thing, but you guys were in my way when I was trying to mop myself out of my room and I hit my desk again, sorry. And if you guys stopped being in my way, I wouldn't have to move you and have weird editing like that. So that's on you. Make better life choices. But entryway is almost done. Why am I singing? I'm sorry. That's nonsense mouth noise, and I apologize. I will not be fed to the zombies. So that's another fun thing about being the dictator is one, I am going to make everybody curtsy to me and call me queen, but it will be a dictatorship. It will not be like a constitutional queen. That sounds stupid. But I make up the rules and I get to decide who goes to the zombies, and it's never me. It's never me. I wonder if I'll be like Henry VIII. So Henry VIII, I haven't talked about the Tudors in forever. I'm so glad it came up. Thank you for bringing that up. I wonder if I'm going to be like Henry VIII and I'll be like, let's pretend Mary annoys me, my assistant, my unofficial unpaid assistant who's getting raises left and right. If Mary pissed me off enough and I was like, you know what? Throw her to the zombie horde and she gets eaten by the zombie horde, right? If later I'll be like, I miss Mary because Henry VIII would routinely execute his people. Like he executed Cardinal Wolsey he was on his way to being executed, but he died of natural causes. If you watch the show The Tutors, he kills himself in that. But everybody says it's natural causes. He was old. He was old as crap, but he was disfavored. Still the archdiocese. He was the Cardinal of York, I believe. That was weird. Don't quote me on that. And then after he was gone, because he did so much for Henry, like he ran the kingdom for so long until Henry almost died and they got very scared. And then Henry became heavily involved in the kingdom and then started killing people. But then like Henry was like, oh, I kind of miss him. Like he was such a good helper. And then when he did the exact same thing to Cromwell, he did execute Cromwell. And he was like, Cromwell was doing all of it for him, but then he was kind of falling out of favor. And the Boleyns were his enemy. And he got the Boleyns out and, Anne Boleyn was also decapitated. It was, it was a season of decapitation. It's fine. But then not Cardinal Wolsey. I'm so sorry. Cromwell arranged Anne of Cleves, and apparently Anne of Cleves was ugly as heck. But if you look at her, contemporarily speaking, if you look at her straight on, she was one of the more attractive ones. And Henry absolutely hated her. And he was like, I don't want to be married to her. This is the absolute worst. Do I have to marry her? And they're like, yeah, dude, like we are too far gone. You absolutely have to marry her. So then Henry was like, oh my God, she's so gross. I can't even get it up. I hate her. We are not going to be able to consummate this marriage because she repulses me so much. And I don't even think that maybe she is a virgin because like her breasts and her belly don't feel like it, which like, what? What a weird standard. That's like, what? Okay. Anyways. And so luckily she had the wherewithal to be like, yeah, no, cool. Let's get a divorce. I don't mind at all. I love this for us. You do you. You're my favorite. Whatever makes you happy. I only want to make you happy all the time. And because she was so amicable, because she had seen somebody get banished and die in poverty, and then the other one get beheaded, I would be amicable too. Oh, and then a third died in childbed. Anyways, yeah, she's like, no, this is great. And then she was rich beyond belief. Like he gave her so much money. She was so high ranking. She did it right. Anne of Cleves was the best wife. Fight me on it. When people are like, died, beheaded, divorced, died, beheaded, survived, screw you. That divorce, she thrived. She should have been thrived because the one who survived, if you will, lived a terrible, rotten, no good life after that. Her like new husband that she married that everybody got very mad about basically tried to nail her stepdaughter, who was Elizabeth, and she caught them like in an embrace, and then she gives birth and dies of childbed fever very shortly after. Not great, right? So like I wouldn't be like, ooh, survived. Yeah, survived for a couple years. Anne of Cleves survived all of them, was rich, did whatever she wanted, just wandered around England, living her best life. That one's the best wife. Anyway, what? Oh, so then he beheads Cromwell. And then shortly thereafter, he's like, oh, I kind of miss Cromwell. He got a lot of stuff done. I'll try to learn from his mistakes. But maybe not. Maybe I will just throw people zombies and then later regret it. I don't know, Mary. Sorry. But I would be on your absolute best behavior if I were you. But it doesn't just go for Mary. That goes for everybody. Best behavior or to the zombies you go. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think about who else I want to throw to zombies. I bought that at Hobby Lobby allegedly. And I'm making myself a little coffee because look, it is 3:20 and I'm still cleaning my fracking house. I have not had a meal. All I've had is coffee at this point, coffee and sadness. And so I made myself a little bit of coffee because you need to drink it before 4 because I'm old now. And if I drink coffee after 4, I'm going to be up for a million years and it's very sad. Or before 5. I have to drink before 5. And I love that little sign. It cracked me up beyond belief. And also, I typically avoid cleaning off my coffee bar, but I did it this time because I'm amazing. And I was talking so much about the tutors that I didn't really see what else I cleaned. Did I do the table, you guys? If I did the table, then I see the finish line. If I haven't done the table, then I am still loathing every moment because it still feels overwhelming and not like I'm almost done. Does that make sense? And I did ask, my son had to take out the trash 9 million times. And I cut the twins out because nobody wanted to get dressed for the day. And I can't leave my kids wandering around the house in fuzzy robes. Sweet potato really needed a little bit of extra attention. Seriously, I haven't seen. Did I do the table? I did not address the cord basket. That is still, it's getting significantly worse. We really do have to address the cord basket. I don't do the bookshelf. Mind your own business about that bookshelf. I am going to do it. I am. It's coming up. It's going to be my recliner video. Spoilers. It's an hour and 16 minutes into this video, so I feel like most of you will watch that video regardless, even if I spoil it, if you're still here. Thanks for being here, guys. I love you. I love most of you. Canada. I'm sorry. It's too funny. I'm never going to stop. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. I also want to lay down a rug in here because I'm tired of mopping it. And if I have the rug down, which is on that green chair, I do not do it because my body actually hurts at this point. My back starts getting really tight and my feet don't hurt so bad. Previously, when I had lower vitamin D and I wasn't on hormone replacement for my perimenopause, my bones would hurt so badly. My feet would hurt really badly and my pelvis would hurt significantly. And it would hurt for a couple days after, like the next day, physically hurt to walk. Like I would just be like, ah, ooh, ah. And luckily, with the replacements of everything, my vitamin D levels are much higher, thankfully. And I have that testosterone and progesterone in. And so my body doesn't hurt nearly as much. I didn't know perimenopause would physically hurt like it does. And it sucks. Like I could deal with the sleeplessness because I've started leaning into the sleeplessness. I do my side quests. I relish in the quiet of it. It's way better when my house is clean because then I can wander around my clean house and be like, ooh, I got a clean house. But I could deal with the sleep. I could deal with the brain fog because I don't know what I don't know. And what I don't know is everything I've forgotten. But the pain of it all, that was the worst part. So I'm really glad that that is alleviated. Also, it helps me do whole house cleans because I'm not like physically punished afterwards. I was a little sore after this one, but it wasn't anything terrible. Aha! I haven't done the table yet, but I do the table. Do. Um, One thing I dislike when my husband goes to Costco, or not Costco, Sam's Club, is they don't really put everything away like I want them to. And I can get the kids to put most stuff away when I go, but we tend to leave like the kids will open up the boxes of chips and they go everywhere. It's not really my husband's fault, but that's what happened this time and it didn't get put away and that bothered me. Also, he bought a bunch of fruit, specifically apples, and I can't remember the other thing, but all of the apples rotted within a couple days. I think there was one bad apple, and you know what they say about one bad apple? They get fed to zombies. But it ruined the bunch. And so I had to throw away basically all of those apples. They were rotten. I bought new apples, and that's why if you hearken back to forever ago in this video, when I was putting the fruit in the bowls, I was checking all of them because I don't know, sometimes Sam's Club goes through a season where like all of their produce is mostly rotten, and I hate that. I just got a couple more bell peppers from them, and they're already on the verge of going out. I'm so mad. That's what I get for doing grocery pickup and not going in and looking at them aggressively myself. I actually think this weekend I'm going to go. I did meal plan for the week. I'm going to have grilled chicken and pork chops, and then the pork chops are going to turn into pork tacos, and the chicken is going to turn into stir fry, and that should be pretty good. And then I think we'll have steak one of the nights because that's like one of the proteins my kids eat. So we'll have grilled meats and then not touching sides 3 days. And 2 of the days I'll offer blended foods, but they'll probably eat chicken strips, to be honest. I wonder if, no, I'll be too busy this weekend doing a whole room review. I don't think I'm going to do any meal prep, but I was wondering if maybe I should cut up all the vegetables for them so that they have easy vegetables to grab. But my kids are really good at cutting their own vegetables. Yeah. So, no, I'm just going to have too much crap to do. Okay. Here's something horrifying. Hold on. Nope. That was me stretching my back. My back is really hurting. And I finally saw the table's done. Everything else in the house is done, but this part of the kitchen. And now I'm finally having summit fever. I see the end. All I have to do is get this back done and then do the floor. That's it. What was I gonna think? Oh, so the dishes in the dishwasher just finished, and I was considering piling all of my dishes in the sink instead of like washing them all. And I was just, nope. I was like, I want it to be done, like actually done. And so even though they were really hot, I emptied the dishwasher. I do need to still get this dehydrator put up, but I think I'm going to make beef jerky again. Not this weekend, maybe this weekend. But maybe if I do run to Sam's Club, I will buy some meat and slice it up. I love using my dehydrator. I'm making so much beef jerky. All I am doing is slicing it up and adding Redmond sea salt. That's it. I'm not marinating or anything like that. I might do a batch soon where I put pepper on it, but just meat and sea salt. It's not sea salt. It's pink Himalayan salt. What? It's fancy salt. I think, what am I doing here? Why am I looking? What do I look for? Oh, I want to put these eggs up. And I was like, maybe in a bowl, but I remembered I have this little basket. These are farm fresh eggs, so they are covered in poop. But if you don't wash your farm eggs, they can sit on the counter. I'm sure everybody knows that. When I grew up with chickens, right? And so the other day, those are a gift from a friend. She was like, "Do you want eggs?" And I was like, "I always want eggs. Shut up." And so she's like, "Okay, but remember, like they can sit on the counter, but you have to wash them before you use them, stuff like that." I was like, "I know how eggs work, MJ. Like, don't explain to me eggs." And she's like, "Well, what if you didn't know how eggs worked and you open it and you see the chicken poop on the shell, or even worse, you just crack the egg and then you eat chicken poop and your whole family gets sick and you blame me?" I was like, "I would blame you regardless if you gave me instructions. I will feed you to the zombies. But I know how eggs work." I don't know. I really love that exchange with her. And despite me being rude to her, she is still bringing me eggs. And I love that for me. But yeah, these plates, these cups, everything is so hot. It just finished. But I'm trying not to show you guys that they're hot. And I want to be like, I'm making good choices. This is fine. I'm not making good choices. And it wasn't fine, but I'm doing it anyways. I think like my biggest challenge was the silverware. And I was like, don't show any weakness. Like, That's how you get usurpers, is when you're putting away your hot silverware and you're like, ooh, ah, ooh. Somebody's like, no, she's ripe for the overthrowing. I can lead us through the zombie apocalypse because I never handle way too hot of silverware. I'm almost certain that that is what happened with Henry VII. Just kidding. He died of like tuberculosis or something like that. Outlived his mother. No, his mother outlived him is what I meant to say. And then Henry VIII became king at a very, very young age. Did you guys know that like the average age of people in England when Henry VIII was ruling with his wife, Catherine of Aragon, was like 18? Everybody was teenagers and everybody was drunk. And I don't know why that is so crazy to me, but it wasn't even the average age. I think it was like the median age. Just most people were teens with a few adults being like, oh my God, Jesus, could you guys just like stop having jousts? It's expensive. And stop having these, what did they call them? Like unmaskings was a big one where like the king would always wear a mask and then like go in and surprise the queen. And then they would do this dance and then he'd take his mask off and the queen would be like, oh my God, I had no idea. It's like, what? Yeah, you did know him. Like you guys had 78 pregnancies. Just one of them really survived. But like you knew that dude. Like don't pretend. Here cardinal knowledge runneth deep. Don't know why I said it like that. I just did. Okay, we're really close to being done. I know I say that a lot. I'm actually watching myself do this and trying to stretch out my lower back at the same time because of how bad it hurt. It was wretched. And I was so excited. So I had a little bit of my coffee, but then I also held it because I knew right after this was done, I was going to go take a really hot shower and stretch in the shower. You're welcome for that visual. And I was going to try to stretch out my back and let the really nice hot water run over me and wash my hair and then grab my coffee while it was still warm and sit in my nest. And it was glorious. So I remember a while ago, I was like scrubbing the bottom of my sinky thingies, and somebody's like, oh, just throw them in the dishwasher. So I remembered to do that in this case, and then I was able to wash the racks at the bottom of my sink. Okay, here's something horrifying. So you can't see it very well, but there is a cockroach under that mat. See, it's that little black thing right there. And I'm like, gross, got to get that up. But I also think so they come up through your drains and maybe that's what's happening or they're coming in through my garage. I know that the bug lady said that they can flatten down to about a sheet of a paper. And she's like, yeah, I mean, we can spray for them, which we did. We had our house treated, but that just means they make it inside, cross the threshold, and then die shortly after. But I think my cats will see one and chase it under my kitchen mats. And then I don't know they're there and I step on them under the mat. And then when I move my mat to sweep under it, a most horrifying discovery happens to me. It's it's so gross. It's so hard. I wish there was a way to keep them out of my home, but I just haven't discovered it yet. We had everything treated. There is a really significant sized hole behind my oven that I think they just like put their foot through the wall and they were like, ta-da, now we can run the pipes and wires and everything we need out that way. And maybe that's the way that they're coming in. It's just, oh my God, it's a bit much. Maybe it's because I had all that cardboard in my house again. Like maybe they did come in through the cardboard, but I just don't see that happening. I don't see it. Like, where are they inside the box that I don't see them when I open the box? Also, I don't want to know the answer to that. So don't tell me the answer to that. It sounds horrible. Getting this almost done. I think once I finish dehydrating my food and I put the dehydrator back, I think I'm going to put the toaster right there in case you're curious. Now, also look at me. I'm putting away my cleaning products. That's amazing to me. And since the laundry room's already clean, I'm not ruining the laundry room, which I do frequently do. I'll like throw stuff in the laundry room if I'm already avoiding it. And then you guys aren't going to see it anyways. And that's what I do. Kind of like when I clean my laundry room and I throw things into that little hallway right there, and then I just don't show you guys the hallway. There's a lot. I do scam a lot, you guys. Not scam, sham. I gold brick. There are techniques for me to do less work when you guys think I'm doing the absolute most work. And I'm trying to not do that because it ends up hurting me in the future. Future Beth doesn't deserve the punishment she gets. Unless future Beth is a Canadian Beth, and then she gets what's coming to her. All right. So excited about this. All it is a little bit of a mop. That's all it is. We can get this done. I feel like my body is breaking as we speak. You can see me do big huffles. I'm huffling my way through it. Okay. I'm really excited about this. Oh, look at me hanging up my dish towel. I'm so fancy. And then I do have to, like, I loop around behind the countertop. And I did like 4 things while I waited for the floor to dry so I could do my final walkthrough. But I was so desperate to finish my final walkthrough so I could get into the shower. It was glorious. And here it is, final result. Those boxes, we need to take them over to Mason's house. So I still have some stuff that I need to get gone, but I organized my entryway. And I finally put away the St. Patrick's decor. Like, it doesn't look like spring. I wish there was more. I want more corally color, but my nest looks fantastic. It looks so tempting. I love you, nest. But this looks it organized, clean, not filled with all of my laundry and like 11 different packages. I cleaned my coffee bar. Look, I'll show you again. Maybe coffee is addicted to me. It just felt like such a me sign. I loved it so much. And I love how clean my kitchen is. Not only that, but look, I am going to show you because I also do my laundry room. Like, it's a literal whole house clean. I cleaned it. Well, not my kids' room and not upstairs because that's for those idiots to clean. Or maybe I'll neglect it because cleaning my upstairs is by far the most popular thing. Like, those videos, you guys love it so much. So like when you guys are like, oh, maybe the kids should clean upstairs. I'm like, I don't know, guys. That's like $600 for me. Maybe I should give them more crap to throw around upstairs. All cleans off. Look, my table's perfect. Everything is just perfect. I'm so excited. And usually this is where I wrap it up. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Look, I did my house. And I loop back to this nest so you can see how I don't have 38 coffee cups right there. But I can't because I also actually cleaned my bedroom. I do. That is a costume on that thingy. That's a costume that I have to sew for Calvin's. And I'm also not folding and putting away my husband's clothes because, one, it's not easy to put them away. And now when I fold them, he's not putting them away and they end up on the floor again. And so I'm like, that's on you, babe. You can do that. But my bathroom's also clean. And now I'm going to take a really nice hot shower in my bathroom. I love it. Thank you guys for spending so long with me today. I cannot wait to see what we get up to in the next video. And Leroy Jenkins and I love you. Bye.